After every 4 or 5 months, we discuss this topic that there is a rise in onion prices. And this made us to think about government initiative, that government of India has taken any initiative in this regard or not. And if it's taken, then why they are not sufficient. Hello everyone, welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today we are going to discuss very important topic of economy, which is rise in onion prices. So moving towards points of discussion. So first of all, we are going to discuss the news, and then we are going to discuss that government efforts regarding this thing, and then we are going to discuss reasons for price rise in onion, and then we are going to discuss that when we will achieve stability in onion prices after that practice question for prelims and mains. So moving to the news part. So what is the twist here, that despite of various efforts taken by the government of India, then why we have this rise in onion prices? So there is a virtual ban on exports of the onions, and there is also a creation of buffer stock. So despite of all these two efforts, why we have this much of the rise in onion prices? So this class is based on particular topic that government of India has taken various initiatives, then why we are failing and why we are not able to give onion at a very stable prices. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about that what are the government initiatives regarding this thing. So in August, what government of India has done, that there is an export duty of 40% which was imposed on the retailers and business people, that who will export onion, then they had to give export duty of 40%. So why this step has been taken? So this step has been taken to improve the availability of the domestic onions in the market. It means that in the domestic markets there will be the availability of the onions, and because of that this step has been taken. And what are the second efforts that it has taken? The second effort is that it has come with a different kind of measures in October. So the second is that it has the government of India fired another salvo. It has imposed minimum export price of $800 ton, which made the basic price of onion very expensive. So in that way it has also discouraged the export market. So all these measures has throttled the export market of the world, and they are expecting more onions from India, but due to the domestic consumption, government of India has to take such a step. So these are the government initiatives, and how it has impacted the export market we already have done. And it has also created buffer stocks with the organization like NAFED and NCCF. And how much buffer stock it has created? So it has created 5 lakh tons of the onion buffer stock, which are very huge in number. But despite of all these efforts, we are facing such kind of the crisis in the market. And for your general knowledge, this is the very basic information I am giving you, that India on an average produces 250 lakh tons of the bulb, and its domestic consumption is 160 lakh tons. So here what we can see, that it produces very high amount of the onion, but we have lots of domestic consumption, and its major share goes to the domestic consumption. Because of that, the export market of the onion is not in a very good condition and not in a very stable condition. So why they are not in a stable condition? So first they had to give this minimum export prices, and the second they have to pay 40% of the export charges. So because of that thing, they are facing export crisis in terms of the onion market. So moving towards the another slide, is that why prices are still rising. It means that government of India has taken various initiatives like buffer stocks, like export prices are high, and because of all these initiatives, why there is a rise in the onion prices. So the first reason is that 𝐸𝐴 is a wholesale market for the onion, and it is the largest market for the onion, and it also sets the prices of the onion. So what was the impact of government initiative on all those things? So does it have an actual impact on the 𝐸𝐴 market or not? So we can see a slight changes here, that earlier the prices of the onion was 4800 per quintal, but now it is 3650 1 quintal. So there we can see the changes because of the government initiative, but these are not translating into the actual prices of the onion. And when it comes to the retail marketing, we are purchasing it rupees 80 or rupees 100 in cities like Delhi, Mumbai. So because of all these things, these are the impact of the 𝐸𝐴 market. And why there is a case study of 𝐸𝐴 market is important, because it sets the prices of the onion for the whole India. So what are the other reasons for this prices high? The first reason is that monsoonal region, there is a late arrival of monsoon in India, and also the bad weather condition, climatic conditions are also responsible for that. And because of the late arrival of the monsoon, there is a mismatch between the Rabi crop and the Kharif crop, because monsoon arrived very late, so the Kharif crop soon late, and it was harvested late. And there is also problem of storage facility in our country. It means that, you know, we for the Rabi onions, they are very in a good quality and their moisture helps them to store, but our storage facilities are not in a very effective condition. And what we said, suppose that if you are saving and if you are storing 100 quintals of onion, it means that only 50% could be in a good condition and 50 would be in a rotten condition. So because of that lack of storage facility and efficient storage facility, we have such kind of the problems. And because of all these things, the prices in the onions are still high. So these are the reasons and these are the small problems which government had to tackle, and government had to go through the nitties gritties of the market, that, you know, there are more problems. The only initiatives taken by them is not enough, and only ban on export are not enough, and creation of buffer stocks are not enough. You have to also look for the basic problems, just like the storage facility, the monsoonal problems. And if any farmers are engaged in the onion kind of farming, then they had to also look for their compensation also, because of the bad monsoon, their harvest is in a bad condition. So government of India has to take all these kind of the small problems. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about that when we will able to achieve the stabilization in the prices of the onion. So what is the current scenario is showing that the current scenario is not showing any positive signs in this thing. So in Lassalgaon onion market, there is a rise of Kharif onion in the market, but that are very in a small condition and a small amount. So that small amount could not help the whole India market to stabilize. So because of that also we are facing such kind of the problem. So what the recent trend are showing that, you know, we are not able to achieve this market stabilization in terms of onion very soon. So the government of India had to take very effective measures regarding that, and they had to cure the this kind of the basic problems like storage facility, post harvest problem, post monsoonal problems, and they had to promote such kind of the market, just like Lassalgaon market. We need to have such more markets in all over the India. We should not depend on one big market. So these kind of things should be available, and there should be more storage for the Rabi onions. There should be more availability of the Kharif onions, so that there will be no shortage of the market. And the government of India should come with this initiative that, you know, the onion marketers and onion farmers should be given compensation. There should be a particular scheme dedicated to them, so that if there will be any problems they are getting in terms of the sowing or reaping of their harvest, then there will be a economic support and moral support from the government of this country. So moving to the question part. So the question is, high inflation levels in the economy leads to fill in the blanks in the supply of money, and here are your options: increase, decrease, no change, none of the above. So you have to answer in the comment section. Coming to the mains part. So how commodity prices can impact markets and inflation, because this particular thing is related to the rise in prices of the commodity and market situation. So that's why this mains question is. So first of all, you have to write that what are the reasons for the rise in the market prices. So right now we have the first reason is the effect of the pandemic. And then we have Russia-Ukraine war. And then downgrade of the US economy. And now Israel-Palestine issue. So these are the reasons that prices of the commodities are rising day by day. So coming to that, how it can impact the market and inflation. So first, what would be the impact of the prices of the commodities? So first, there will be the slow return of the market, because after this COVID-19 pandemic, we are still facing the problems and the economies are still in the condition that they are recovering. They are not able to recover that fast, and according to the RBI calculation, we will be able to reach that pre-pandemic level by 2035. So this thing I am talking about the India context, and every country has a different kind of the context. So there will be the slow return of the economy, and there will be the inflation of the prices of various things, and overall there will be the inflation in the market, and inflation leads to so many problems, just like push for the loans in the banks, and there will be the low purchasing capacity of the consumers. So in that way, people will not have that kind of standard of living which they earlier used to. So this onion prices is not just limited to the market thing, or just not limited to the food prices thing. It also destabilizes the whole market condition. So in that way, it impacts the daily household and daily life of the people. So I hope you like this lecture. If you have any queries related to this lecture, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.